Hello and good morning. My name is Crystal. I'm a yoga instructor here at Yoga Pod Tucson. I'm so happy to be able to be a part of this wonderful cause with Ronald McDonald House Charities of Southern Arizona. I have a kind of an easy breezy 30-minute flow class for you. So if you want to go ahead and get seated in any way that's comfortable, that may mean kneeling, or if you're going to take easy seated, you can always sit on some blocks, maybe on a pillow, any way that's comfortable. Take your time setting up, maybe shifting from side to side a little bit. And once you settle in, sitting any way where you're able to lengthen through the spine. Hands can be down for some grounding or up for receptivity. And then once you're here, start to deepen the breath. Maybe close the eyes or keep a soft gaze. Start to fill the lungs on the inhale and fully release on the exhale. Allowing the hips to be heavy here, but keep reaching through the crown of the head. Do 3 more rounds of breath here, just giving ourselves a chance to settle, to ground. Setting aside any distractions. And then if the eyes were closed, maybe blinking them open, and we'll go through some stretches to start. So on your next inhale, reach fingertips high overhead. Exhale for the right hand, come down, left fingertips up and over, reaching towards the right. You may want to start up on fingertips, maybe come down a little bit further if it feels okay. You just want to keep that left hip grounded. From here, we'll close the chest off towards the mat, reaching the left fingertips on the diagonal. And then lifting the chest back up. Inhale, reach to center. Exhale, over to the other side. So that left hand comes down, right fingertips up and over, kind of creating an arc in the body here, keeping the chest lifted. And then closing the chest off, reach the right fingertips on the diagonal. Lift the chest, inhale back to center, and exhale for a twist. So the right hand comes behind, left hand's gonna come somewhere towards that right thigh. Try and sit with a straight spine. Each inhale, you lengthen a little bit more. Each exhale, maybe you twist to the right. Start to unwind, inhale, reach, and exhale, twisting over to the left. So the gaze goes somewhere towards that left shoulder, assuming it's comfortable for the neck here, lengthening on the inhales, twisting on the exhales. Start to unwind and inhale. And on the exhale, bow the hands down directly in front of you. And then just noticing how this feels in the hips here. If it's already tight, you may just want to stay here. If you feel like you're able to go a little bit more, maybe you walk the hands forward so you can bow the chest down. Forehead facing the mat, but it doesn't have to touch. Remembering to keep the hips grounded here. And start to walk the hands back in towards the body. If you hang the legs crossed, we'll go ahead and switch directions. Shifting around a little bit so that you can sit tall. If you're sitting on a pillow or a block, stay where you are. That's totally fine. Then once you feel settled, lengthening through the spine here, draw the belly in and inhale to reach high. Exhale, right hand down, left fingertips up and over. Maybe you have a little bit more space here this time. And then closing the chest off, reaching on the diagonal. lift the chest and inhale, come to center. Exhale over to the other side. Hopefully feeling a nice stretch from that right hip out through the right fingertips. Close the chest, reach through the right fingertips. And then lifting the chest back up, inhale to center. Twisting to the right on the exhale, right hand behind. Maybe use that right leg as some leverage here if it feels okay too. Then start to unwind, reach. Exhale, twisting over to the other side. Not forcing anything here, keeping it gentle. Remembering that we're just starting out. Start to unwind and reach. And exhale to bow forward. Hands come down in front of you. You can lower the forehead down towards the floor any amount. Start to walk the hands back in. From here, we'll move to a tabletop. So you can either just roll over the shins or sweep the legs around. Bringing the wrists under the shoulders here. Knees under hips. Feet are in line with the knees here. Maybe even tap the tops of the feet a little bit. Fingers are spread wide, maybe slightly pressing away from the mat. And then ready to move into some cat-cow. So not on the next inhale, head and chest lift, drop the belly. And exhale for cat. Press the mat away, arch through the spine, tucking the tailbone in. Inhale back to cow, this time lifting the tailbone. Trying to draw open through the collarbones. And exhale back to cat. Really feel the shoulder blades separate on the spine as you press the mat away, draw the belly in, and inhaling back to cow. So we'll do a few more rounds here, your own breath, your own movement. Inhaling for cow, and exhaling for cat. We'll come back to our neutral tabletop and prepare for thread the needle. So on your next inhale, the right hand will reach up. Feel a stretch through the fingertips, and then on the exhale, thread that hand through between the left arm and left leg so that you can lower that right shoulder down towards the mat. Maybe the left hand stays where it is, or it might want to walk forward a little bit. If this feels good here, for a little more intensity, you can press the ground away with the right hand as that left hand walks over to the right. Taking some breath here. Then bring the left hand back in front of the face. Press the mat away and inhale as you unwind, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, lower that right hand down. Ready for the other side. Inhale, left hand reaches high. Exhale, thread the needle, lowering that left shoulder down to the mat. Maybe the right hand walks forward. And then just settling in. See how you feel here. Make any adjustments that you need to, whether you might want to come out of this a little bit by lifting the shoulder, or to go deeper, walking that right hand over to the left, pressing the mat away with the left hand. And bringing the right hand back in front of the face. Start to inhale as you unwind and reach. Exhale, left hand comes down, back to a neutral tabletop. Maybe you shift the hips from side to side, kind of letting that go. And then from here, we'll send the right foot to the back of the mat, keeping the toes tucked and pressing the mat away with the hands, sending the heel back. Hopefully you feel a nice calf stretch here. Kind of shifting back into our neutral position, lifting the right heel. So the toes point down towards the mat. We're trying to keep these hips level. You have the option to stay here, or if you like a little bit more challenge, you can lift the left hand forward, reaching it out as if you're shaking somebody's hand. This is full spinal balance. Drawing the belly in, maybe slightly pressing the mat away with the right hand. Holding for a round of breath. Then exhale, lower the hand and the knee back down, shift from side to side. And then sending the left toes to the back of the mat. So tucking the toes, sending the heel back, maybe you can press away with the hands a little bit if it feels okay to. Hopefully feeling some stretch in the left calf. And shifting forward just a little bit so that you can lift the heel up, half spinal balance. From here, deciding whether you would like to stay here or maybe the right arm reaches forward. So you're going to be reaching in opposite directions here, kind of feeling a line of energy from that left heel out through the right fingertips. Go ahead, bring the limbs back down, shift from side to side. And then we're going to continue that movement a few more times here by sending the right foot back and the left hand forward just to reach and back down to the mat. Left foot back, right hand forward. And then just continuing this movement a few more times. Inhale to reach, exhale to lower, inhale to reach, exhale to lower. Just matching the movement to your breath. Maybe it's a little bit slower or faster. A couple more times. We'll end with the left hand reaching forward. Once you're there, back to our neutral table. From here, shifting back to down dog. So you want to tuck the toes, send the hips back, find our first down dog. From here, you just want to kind of bend into one knee and then the other, walking out your dog. Not too concerned with alignment here. You just want it to feel good in the body. Maybe you bend through both knees and send the chest towards the thighs. A few more rounds wherever you are. And then we'll find our neutral down dog. So we want the hands to be just about shoulder width apart here, maybe a little bit wider. Fingers are spread wide, wrapping the triceps under. Bending through the knees as much as you need to here, but still sending the heels towards the mat. They don't have to touch. Take an inhale and open your mouth to release. From your down dog, we'll reach the right heel high, three-leg dog. The heel is lifted, toes point down towards the mat. Then bending that knee and opening the hip. Just some gentle movement here. Maybe some circles with that right knee going in both directions. Then straightening the leg out, closing the hip down, and we'll step that right foot through in between the hands. Lower the back knee down, untuck the toes, and start to press through both feet so that you're able to bring the hands to the hips here. Playing around with how far forward you want to shift, if it feels okay through this left hip flexor. If this is kind of tight, uncomfortable, then you may want to sit up more upright here. May even be nice to shift back and forward. And then when you're ready, bring the hands down to frame that front foot, and we'll move into half splits. By straightening through the right leg, hands walk back, grounding that right heel down into the mat. If you have blocks on either side, or maybe even a water bottle, anything that will give you a little bit of height on either side, that could be very helpful. I'm trying to ground that heel down as we draw the right hip back, sending chest towards toes here. Another round of breath. Then bend through the knee, walk the hands forward so that they frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee, and then just stepping that right foot back to down dog. On the other side, left heel lifts high. Finding that three-leg dog here. Then bend the knee, open the hip. Maybe some movement with that right knee. Going in both directions. Straighten that leg back out, closing the hip down and stepping that foot through in between the hands. It may take a couple steps to get there, that's totally okay. Lower the back knee down, untuck the toes, and start to rise up so you can bring hands to hips here. If you prefer hands overhead, you can always do that as well. Then deciding how this side feels, whether you want to shift forward a little bit or back. Either way, we're pressing through the sole of the left foot and the top of the right foot, kind of scissoring the legs together energetically. And taking a couple more rounds of breath. And then bringing the hands down to frame the front foot. Moving into half splits on this side. Straighten through the left leg, walk the hands back. When I say straighten, we don't have to force the leg to be straight. This knee can be as bent as it needs to. Grounding the heel down, flexing the toes back towards the knee. Maybe 2 more rounds of breath. Then bend through the knee, walking the hands forward, framing the front foot so that we can tuck the back toe, lift the knee, and step that left foot back to down dog. From down dog, bend through the knees a little bit, looking forward. Start to tiptoe feet towards hands at the top of the mat. Once you get there, keep the knees bent and let the upper body hang heavy here. Grabbing opposite elbows for ragdoll. Maybe swaying from side to side. Maybe play around with bending the knees a little bit more, a little bit less. If you notice that the legs are really straight, but you're kind of up here, then that's your cue to bend through the knees a little bit more. We want to be able to release through the back. Shake the head, yes. Shake the head, no. Swaying from side to side might be nice. If this is still uncomfortable, you can always bring the hands down to the mat. Coming to center, we'll do a slow roll to mountain. So start to press through the feet as you straighten through the legs. Kind of let the hands dangle as you roll the body up. Taking your time, eventually standing at the top of the mat, finding mountain pose. So we're going to kind of ground down through the feet. They're about hip distance apart. Engaging through the legs, a slight tuck of the tailbone. The core is engaged as well. And start to roll the shoulders up and back. The palms face forward here, lengthening through the crown of the head. You may even want to close the eyes for a round of breath. Feeling the engagement, the strength of mountain pose. On the next inhale, reach fingertips high overhead, extended mountain. Then we'll take a forward fold here. Hinge at the hips, hands come all the way down to the mat. Inhale for a halfway lift, straightening through the spine. Fingertips to the mat or palms to shins. You just want to keep a straight back here, keeping the forehead parallel with the mat. Exhale for the hands to come down and send the right foot to the back of the mat. Lower the back knee down, untucking the toes, and sweep fingertips high. If you felt more comfortable with the hands on the hips, stay there. You can grab that right wrist with the left hand, pulling to the left. Hopefully feeling a nice side stretch here. And then inhale back to center. Exhale for the hands to come down, framing the front foot, moving into our half splits. We won't be here as long this time, but hopefully it feels a little bit more open here. And bend through the knee, coming forward, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, and step back to a plank pose here. If plank doesn't feel very comfortable for you, you can always lower down to the knees for a tabletop. Either way, we're holding for another inhale, then exhale to bend through the elbows, slowly lowering the body all the way down to the mat. Once you get there, untucking the toes, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat, and we'll go through 3 rolling cobras here. So keep the collarbones open, press through the feet, inhale, head and chest lift, and exhale, roll down. Inhale, lift, maybe press in the hands just a little bit, and exhale, release. Last one, head and chest lift. Maybe you play around with having little to no weight in the hands here, squeezing the shoulder blades together on the spine. And exhale, release the forehead back down to the mat. From here, tucking the toes, we're going to press the mat away. So you can either press through a table or you can press straight through a plank. And exhale to shift the hips back, meeting the down dog. From down dog, right heel lifts high. Bend the knee, open the hip. Close it back off and step the foot through. From here, we'll find a twisted lunge. So grounding the left hand down, right fingertips come high. Option to lower that back knee down. Framing the front foot, looking forward. You'll want to step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale to fold forward over the legs. Slight bend in the knees here. Inhale to rise, come all the way up, extended mountain. And then grabbing the left wrist with the right hand, pull to the right. Maybe the hips go to the left a little bit. Inhale back to center. And exhale over to the other side. Inhaling to center, forward fold. Bring hands through heart center, hinge at the hips so the hands come down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, sending the left foot to the back of the mat. Lowering the knee down and untucking the toes. And sweeping fingertips high overhead or to the hips, wherever you choose. We're going to grab the left wrist with the right hand, just pull over to the right any amount. Inhale to come back to center, and exhale as you lower the hands down, framing that front foot. We'll be stepping back to either that table or plank, and then lowering the body down slowly. Once you get there, untucking the toes. This time we'll bring the hands wide on the mat here, tenting the fingertips, lifting through the elbows. Press to the tops of the feet and inhale for the head and chest to lift. And exhale to dip the right shoulder down towards center. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, left shoulder down. Inhale, back to center. And exhale to roll the body down. The forehead comes down to the mat. Hands come back into the sides of the ribs here. Tuck the toes, pressing the mat away through your table or through your plank. And meet in down dog. From down dog, the left heel reaches high. Bending the knee, opening the hip. And straighten through the leg, hip closes. And we'll step that foot through in between the hands here. Twisted lunge, right hand comes down, left fingertips reach high. Remember that back knee can be lowered. And then lowering the left hand down so that your hands are framing the front foot. Looking forward, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten through the spine. And exhale to fold forward over the legs. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands come to heart center. We'll go through one sun salutation here. So inhale to extend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step the feet to the back of the mat. And lower the body down, whether the knees come down, you come all the way to the mat, or stopping halfway in chaturanga. And then inhaling for cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to send the hips back to down dog. Looking forward, step, hop, or float, feet to hands, any way that you want to get there. Inhale for the halfway lift once you do. And then exhale to fold gently over the legs. Inhale, rise, sweeping fingertips up and over the head. And exhale to draw the hands into heart center. From here, we'll reach the arms up again. And then kind of sink the hips down, finding a chair pose, pressing down through the heels. We won't be here long, just another inhale. Then exhale, folding forward over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale the hands down. Step both feet to the back of the mat, finding a plank or a table. Just holding here briefly until the hips go back to down dog. Start to walk the feet forward here as you bend through the knees so that you can sit down with your legs in front of you. Bringing the soles of the feet together here. The feet can be kind of further away from you or closer together. Either way, we want to sit with a straight spine. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, hinging forward in your mat. Maybe the elbows come to the insides of the legs here or not. And then taking some breath here. Start to come up. And then bring the hands to the outsides of the knees to kind of close the knees together. And we'll start to walk the hands down the back and the thighs to come down onto our backs. Once we're down, bringing the knees in towards the chest and just circling from side to side. We'll take a twist here by arms coming long or in cactus and lowering the knees down to the right side of the mat. Gaze can go to the left, assuming it's comfortable. This is a supine twist. And bringing the knees back through center, lower them down to the other side